But what did Canada forget to say about that Reagan clip back in 1987? Do you even know? Because it kind of blew my mind. What does Mr. Smiley Pants have to say?
It's clear that these ads are working. If you throw a rock at a lake and you don't hear a splash, you've probably missed. So to my...
This is what Trumpy had to say last night, and then I'm going to show you what he said moments ago.
Hope she wins. I mean, the other person is horrible.
Reporter says, hey, he's going to air it. He's still going to air the commercials. This is what Trump says. Right here.
Will you meet with Prime Minister Carney during this trip?
We have the best deal with the United States right now. Okay? We have the best deal. Look at the numbers. So let's be absolutely clear. Canada currently has the best trade deal with the United States.
Clinton Jaws. Do you guys even understand what's going on? Because the media is not even really explaining it. Why is Trump upset with Canada? Do you actually know about the commercial? What part of the commercial is he mad at? Nobody's really, everywhere I look, nobody's really coming out and saying the reason. And there's a legit reason. And I'm going to tell you that reason. And yeah, I know I haven't been on this channel. It's good to be back on this channel. You want to know what happened? My channel, this channel, got demonetized. I think I know who's responsible, and I will get to the bottom of it. But I had to get a guy to help me out. Turns out I won, because the reason was ridiculous. Could you imagine, and could you imagine waking up in the morning? You're about to go to work. You open up your email, and it's your employer that says, don't bother coming in. You're fired. And there's nothing you can do about it. And the employer actually says to you, if you try to do anything about this, we may punish you in other ways. It just shows you how sensitive this business is, that they could take it away like that. And there's nothing you can do about it. They don't even tell you the reason. Anyways, I will get to the bottom of it. It's good to be back. Doug Ford, every time he opens up his fat mouth, Canada pays for it. Remember when he threatened to cut off electricity in America?
Today, we're moving forward with a 25% surcharge on electricity exports. For the 1.5 million American homes and businesses that Ontario powers, homes and businesses in Minnesota, Michigan, and New York. This surcharge will cost families and businesses in these states up to $400,000 each and every single day. Let me be clear. I will not hesitate to increase this charge.
Trump comes back and goes, oh, really? Is that what you're going to do? Well, we're going to double your tariffs. And the very next day, Doug Ford calls up Trump and says, well, I was just fooling. I was just fooling around. Can't you take a joke?
Said he was going to charge a surcharge or a tariff on electricity coming into our country. He has called and he said he's not going to do that. Okay, he's not going to do that. And it would have been a very bad thing if he did. And he's not going to do this.
He makes these big statements and then buckles immediately. And he does it again. You've all seen the commercial. I'm only going to play about 5 seconds of it.
High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs.
He uses the Blue Jays to post that crap. And he uses the Canadian people, only 70 million guys, to make that commercial that you paid for. But what did Canada forget to say about that Reagan clip back in 1987? Do you even know? Because it kind of blew my mind.
As perhaps you've heard, last week I placed new duties on some Japanese products in response to Japan's inability to enforce their trade agreement with us on electronic devices called semiconductors. Now, imposing such tariffs or trade barriers and restrictions of any kind are steps that I am loath to take, and in a moment I'll mention the sound economic reasons for this. That over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer. But the Japanese semiconductors were a special case. We had clear evidence that Japanese companies were engaging in unfair trade practices that violated an agreement between Japan and the United States. We expect our trading partners to live up to their agreements. As I've often said, our commitment to free trade is also a commitment to fair trade.
That's the part they left out. Reagan made that speech because he was enforcing tariffs on Japan. Not because he doesn't believe in tariffs, because he did. And you're probably thinking, well, what kind of tariff, Clint? 5%, 20%, 25%? How about 100% tariff on Japanese electronics? Just 100%. But because half of Canada is stupid, they probably believed that Reagan didn't believe in tariffs. That's what Ford wanted you to think. He wanted Canadians and Americans to think that Reagan never believed in tariffs. When he was imposing tariffs. That's why Trump is calling Canadians liars. That's why he's doing it. Because the commercial was completely misleading. So after that commercial came out, Trump posted, you know what, Canada? I don't want anything to do with you guys. You know what? Trade negotiations off. And then Doug Ford, he comes out and says this.
Formerly known as Twitter, just a couple of minutes ago, to announce that those ads will continue to run in some U.S. markets tonight for Game 1 of the World Series, tomorrow night as well for Game 2, but then they will be pausing them as of Monday. So if we can, let's bring up what we heard from Doug Ford just a short time ago, saying in a statement on X that I have, quote, directed my team to keep putting our message in front of Americans over the weekend so that we can air our commercial during the first 2 World Series games. It goes on to say, though, that in speaking with Prime Minister Carney, Ontario will pause its U.S. advertising campaign effective Monday so that trade talk...
Imagine that telephone conversation. Carney calls him up and like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, I don't know what to do here. I got to play some of the commercials. It cost us $70 million. Cost you $70 million. Okay, we'll play it 2 more times then, I guess. Well, Trump doesn't like that. You're going to hear from Trump. He doesn't like that they're going to continue playing. Oh, my God. These buffoons. These buffoons. What's the big deal, Carney? We got the best deal, remember?
We have the best deal with the United States right now. Okay? We have the best deal. Look at the numbers. The effective tariff that faces most Canadian goods and services is very low. So let's be absolutely clear. Canada currently has the best trade deal with the United States.
If you got the best deal, then what's the problem? There's no more work to do. This is what we voted for. These idiot sticks. Who in Canada thought it would be a good idea for Dougie to do this? We didn't ask him to do this. BC's going to do it now. British Columbia. They're going to come up with their own ads. What does Mr. Smiley Pants have to say?
It's clear that these ads are working. If you throw a rock at a lake and you don't hear a splash, you've probably missed. So to my good friend Doug Ford, keep the ads on TV. They're effective, and this country is behind you.
Hey, guys. Hey, we're canceling. We're canceling all negotiations with Canada. Really effective, Canoe. Oh, these morons. If you throw a rock... What did he say? What did he say? I gotta hear that again.
It's clear that these ads are working. If you throw a rock at a lake and you don't hear a splash, you've probably missed.
What if the lake's frozen? I don't know. Throw a rock at a lake. You don't hear a splash. Wow! Wow! You're a genius. Oh, God. Canada, you're just second rate. Third rate. This is what Trumpy had to say last night, and then I'm going to show you what he said moments ago.
Hope she wins. I mean, the other person is horrible.
Reporter says, hey, he's going to air it. He's still going to air the commercials. This is what Trump says.
Ontario says it's going to pull that Reagan tariff ad come this Monday, but it's airing it during his first two World Series games.
Well, you know, it's a crooked ad. I heard he's airing it. Canada, that's why I pulled everything. Canada, they did a crooked ad. They know it was Ronald Reagan loved tariffs. What they did is really dishonest. And I heard they were pulling the ad. I didn't know they were putting it on a little bit more.
Yeah, they
could have pulled it tonight.
They're going to pull it Monday.
Well, that's dirty playing. But,
Have you spoken with Carney?
but I can play dirtier than they can, you know?
Yeah, you can.
On the Australian
Really, very dishonest.
Then he said this today.
What's your view on what Canada needs to do to get things back on track?
Well, Canada lied. I mean, what they did was terrible. They made up a fake statement by President Reagan. Reagan was a big supporter of tariffs when needed. And we need tariffs for national security. And they totally turned it around because they're getting hurt by tariffs and we're gaining by tariffs. They've used tariffs on us when we had different presidents very successfully. And they've taken a lot of money out of our country, and now we're taking it all back. And so they went out and they made a fake commercial.
Yeah.
The Reagan Foundation went crazy when they saw it because it was, the opposite.
The Reagan Foundation even went crazy over it.
It was the opposite of what Ronald Reagan liked tariffs, and when necessary, he would use tariffs.
Listen to this.
And it's made us a very rich country.
Listen to what he says.
It's also made us, when they were used against us, it was not good for us. But we've used them very successfully. We have the highest stock market we've ever had. We have great national security. I've settled wars because of tariffs. And a president has the right to use tariffs, especially when it comes to national security. And we need it for national security, even including our own wealth and paying down debt and all of the other things. So, we're in very good shape with that. But they took a commercial saying the exact opposite, Canada. And so I'm very disappointed in Canada. They lied. I mean, it was a fraud what they did.
What can they do to get it back on track, though?
I don't know. I mean, I'm satisfied with the deal we have. We have a deal right now that's very good for us. Any deal that would have been made would have been better for them than the one they have right now. That's why I was surprised they did this. They did this to try and influence the Supreme Court. And many foreign countries aren't particularly happy, but they took advantage of us for years. For years and years they took advantage. And presidents shouldn't have allowed that to happen, but they did. So, really, I don't think there's much they can do. I just assume leave it the way it is. If you leave it the way it is, it's very good for us.
Right here.
Will you meet with Prime Minister Carney during this trip?
I don't have any intention of it, no.
What do you expect of your meeting?
Not even going to meet with them. Doug Ford did it again. Way to go, fat boy. Yeah, maybe I'll end it there. Maybe I shouldn't have called him that. Bye-bye. Check me out on Rumble.